Howdy, howdy. Welcome to another TE Owners Mastermind session, TE Surfers Mastermind session. We are here rocking out with a few great and awesome sauce people. If you are not here and you're watching this recording, you are making unicorns cry. You need to be here for this stuff. Your participation is required. Anyways, hope everybody had a fantastic week. I had a great week. I don't know about you guys, but it was a fantastic week for me and mine. Really good stuff we've been working on. We also got a big launch that we're helping out with Mr. Blaine Jones, who's in the room right now. He'll be launching something sexy time this weekend, so look out for that. Yes, and then my bird is going to squawk. As soon as I press record, I'm talking, she doesn't say a word. As soon as I press record, she starts yapping because that's the kind of bird I have. Yes, Mookie, we know. Hopefully she's not too loud. You guys can still hear me. Anyways, few things. I actually sent a survey out. I don't know if you guys saw that. I sent a survey out to Hit Exchange News a couple of days ago, and I got some fascinating numbers from this. And I was going to go over a few of the results I got. First of all, the big thing is that 96.97% of respondents were happy with the content. So that means there's good stuff being talked about in the traffic exchange industry. So that's good. This was a big one, though. I asked one of the questions I asked on the survey was, what would you like to see discussed more? And I gave options. I said, how to get better results. Would you like to talk about list building strategies, interviews with industry leaders, or reviews of traffic exchanges? Split right down the middle. It's actually 34.34% and 34.38% want how to get better results and reviews of traffic exchanges. But almost 19% wanted to talk about list building strategies. So interviews with industry leaders doesn't seem to be a hot topic. But list building strategies, how to get better results, but then reviews of the traffic exchanges. I thought that was interesting. So there's a market out there if you're interested in creating lists or attracting more customers, topics that you could be at the top of your funnel to attract people would be reviews of traffic exchanges. If you wanted to set up a list of do a list, hey, join my list, I'm doing reviews of traffic exchanges, that would work. List building strategies and how to get better results. So something to kind of keep in mind if you're creating a lead capture page or a lead magnet of some kind, that's some topics that you could really use to capture more leads. You could talk about how to get better results, you could talk about list building strategies, or you can review traffic exchanges. Not a lot of there was a big whopping 24% of people had no idea we weren't even doing these Tuesday night sessions, which was kind of interesting. This was one of the questions. We had 21% said that they are aware and they are attending, but a big, huge 55% they knew that we did these Tuesday night sessions, but they have not yet attended. So I got to do a better job of getting out there and getting people more engaged. And then finally, this was a huge, huge question, and you guys could definitely use this, and we'll talk about this just as the first topic of the night. The final question was, are you a traffic exchange owner or surfer? Owner, 21%, surfer, 50%, and both. Obviously, if you're both, you're 28%. So I guess there you go. You have 49, so it's 50-50. So 50% of the people polled are surfers, and 50% of the people polled were owners. So I thought that was interesting. A huge market for to talk to owners about business, not just surfers. So even though we'd like to think we want to cater to surfers, don't forget about owners. There's a huge chunk of people that use the traffic exchanges that not only own them, but also surf them. So that's kind of some things to fire up the conversation, to get going. Just some numbers. Again, I think that we should really look at, what you guys can do to build your lists. There's a huge market, obviously, for people that are looking for information on how to get better results, how to build lists with the traffic exchanges, and then reviews of traffic exchanges. So I'll open it up, let you guys rock, and see what you guys think of those numbers, or any aha moments you had from those numbers at all. Anybody?
So close in numbers,
Sorry?
So very close. 55 and 65.
Yeah, it was. Oh, you mean like surfers and owners?
Yeah.
Well, see, this is. I messed up with that question because I asked, "Are you both?" So that kind of skewed the numbers a little bit, right? But if you look at it, 50% were surfers, and then 25% answered both. So where do we split that? Does that mean 12.5% is surfer, 12.5 is owner? So even though surfers did take up the bulk of it, there's a huge chunk of owners out there that are surfing the traffic exchanges. I mean, to me, that's like holy opportunity, Batman. So as an affiliate, I'm looking going, okay, well, what could I sell surfers? What could I sell owners? Well, owners need certain tools. Surfers need certain tools. How do I tailor make my ads? Hi, Carla, welcome. How do I tailor make my ads to that market? Because if I'm seeing, and this is not like 5 people answering the survey either. I had a good chunk of people answering the survey, so it gave me a good judge, I guess would be a good sample size. That it's not gospel, it's not the be all end all, but if I see that 50% of the people polled are surfers and a big chunk, are owners too, that tells me there's opportunity there to cater to the market, cater to these people instead of just putting generic stuff out saying, hey, make money here. Why not tailor make our ads? Hey, so-and-so using this, you are a surfer, you are an owner, check this out type thing, if that makes any sense. So, no? Yeah.
Well, I took the survey and I had to put down surfer, even though I'm not, because I'm not an owner and I'm not really a surfer, but I took the survey. So there.
I got this answer too. I don't know if this was interesting. I don't know who put this. I should have got like people to put their name in when they responded, but this is one of the answers I had when chat with industry players. Leaders is a strong and subjective word. List building strategies is always a bonus, and TE reviews is another subjective opinion. As one person's successful platform may not be another's, as it is determined on what and how people are advertising. So they seem to have a problem with me saying interviews with industry leaders. This brings up a good point to me. Leaders. What is a leader? To me, I mean, you can read every book in the world about, what a leader is. To me, it's someone who leads by example. That's the big thing for me. It's someone who's actually walking the walk, not just talking the talk. So, yeah, is a leader subjective? Someone who says, hey, I run a business, but they only make like $5 a month. Is that really a leader? Is that a business person? That's subjective. I get it. But for me, it's, are you walking the walk? Are you actually doing what you're saying you're doing? Are you actually living by this? Or are you just part of the rah-rah team? Because there's a whole bunch of people part of the rah-rah team. And, for me, lead by example. I mean, if you're going to talk about list building, if you're going to talk about all this stuff, why not do it? To me, at least. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that was an interesting response I got on the survey. So.
I suppose that it could have related more to the, I believe in these people that nobody else does as a leader kind of thing, because, it's subjective on what you consider a leader to be.
Right.
I look at probably things differently than you do. Blaine does. Everybody else in here, we all have our own criteria.
Right.
I think though that as far as the survey goes, the leaders would be, in my opinion, would be 2 things. Like you're saying, the people that are walking the walk, they're leading by example, and the people who are making an effort to improve.
Right.
Not only themselves, but the people that they're working with. Because I look under leadership, I look more for what are they doing to actually improve other people's lives besides their own.
Right.
I think as far as leaders go, especially within this industry and internet marketing itself, and people think that they just want to be leaders and stuff like that. I make $5, so forth and so on, whatever we were talking about. But I don't think that you get to pick whether or not you're a leader.
Right.
I think it's based on basically people that choose to follow you, and you essentially become a leader because people like what you say or like what you're doing or like what you're providing, so forth and so on. They're going to follow you. They're going to migrate towards you because of whatever you're doing that they like. So you can say, I'm a leader, I'm a leader, I'm a leader all day long. But if nobody's following you and nobody respects you and nobody cares about what you're doing online with your business, then you're not really a leader.
That's a very valid point. You don't get to say I am one. People make you one.
What is it off of Game of Thrones? If you have to tell people you're the king, then you're not the king.
Oh, that's deep.
Ooh.
That's deep. That's Game of Thrones reference.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
GOT has invaded the room.
Oh, jeez. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, if you got to, like, you know, stand up as loud as you can. But this brings up the point, what I kind of wanted to talk about too. Perfect segue. Thank you, Blaine, and Game of Thrones. This brings up a point that I made this blog post today on Rock Responder, on the Rock Responder blog, and it talks about the hidden benefit of email marketing. Now, part of email marketing, everybody will agree, like building a list is good, fortune the follow-up, we get it, we understand the importance of it, but the hidden benefit of email marketing is staying top of mind. So maybe, I'm just saying, this isn't maybe not a leadership example, but maybe a marketer example, is that we need to stay on top of the hill screaming, hey, we're here, pay attention to us, because people are bombarded. Like, what did Eric say before he left? He gets hundreds, if not thousands, of emails a day. You know, how am I going to stick out? How's my email going to stick out in front of him? Well, as long as I'm doing something daily, I'm going to stay top of mind. I'm going to stay in front of someone. This industry is notorious for people sending one email and stopping, doing one promo and then stopping, doing one piece of advertising and then stopping. So I get the leadership thing. I understand that point where if you got to say you're the king, you know, you're not really the king. But on the other hand of it, how do we make sure that we're top of mind? For me, it's twofold. I think it's email marketing and content marketing. As long as I'm putting stuff out there, whether it's a live stream, a blog post, an email to my list, whatever, will they take action on it per se? Probably not. Let's be honest. The big chunk of people won't take action. I mean, what's a good conversion rate? 10%? You're laughing at a 10%, if that, email conversion rate? So 90% aren't going to pay attention. So how do you stay in front of people? You stay in front of people by actually doing things. That's my opinion. My opinion is the secret benefit, the hidden benefit of email marketing is that you're staying top of mind. People are seeing you. They might not take action, but at least they're seeing that you're doing something. Thoughts, ideas, rants, raves?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, John. You do need to continue to post stuff and continue to be out there and be seen, because it's the only way, especially with new people coming online every single day trying to figure out how to make money online or how to make money with traffic exchanges, right, or anything like that. As an affiliate, you have to be out there. You have to be in front, without a doubt. So.
Well, I agree. You have to stay out there. If you're not, somebody's taking your place. We can go back to the attention of a goldfish thing, you know. Yeah.
My favorite example.
Yeah, if people don't see you, they forget about you. You know, pretty simple.
Right.
So, yeah, part of that, the hidden value is, yeah, they're seeing me every day. I'd have to agree with that, without a doubt.
The caveat, though, was that you have to make sure that you're putting value out there. It's not just being in front of people for the sake of being in front of people. Like, me going, look, I'm on camera every day. Okay, people see me, but what kind of value is that? So for me, part of the equation of staying in front of people is that you're giving value every day. Very important. So if it's, like a quote, Blaine, awesome new software you got, by the way. If it's if it's a quote, or if it's something that inspires someone, or some kind of lesson, or a stream, or a talk, or a blog post, or just something, even if it's a retweet, you find something. See, this is a big thing you can do. A lot of times people go, I don't have anything to talk about. I'm not really sure why someone would want to listen to me. Retweet something that you found useful. Share it with your team. Share it with your network. Something that you found useful that could help other people. That's staying top of mind as well. So there's multiple ways of doing this, but you got to make sure there's value always given. That's my opinion, at least.
Well, you have to have something to say, or why would they listen to you?
Right. But that's the problem that happens then, is that a lot of times people are like, well, I don't know what to say. And this is kind of going back, Carla's here. It's kind of what we were talking about last week or the week before, what Carla was saying about, everybody knows you're supposed to build a list. Everybody gets that, but what's that first step? What's that first aha moment where people feel like, okay, I'm confident enough to share what I'm thinking? And this is where I think being a curator could definitely help. Being a curator of content, sharing stuff that you found useful that you think, like, for example, everybody hopefully likes Plus One Daily on Facebook. Hopefully, right? Everybody's a fan of Plus One Daily on Facebook. All right, yay. I just shared a Michael Hyatt blog post that he did on his blog. Actually, it was Ray Edwards who actually did the post, but it was on Michael Hyatt's blog post. I didn't write that, but the topic was useful. I thought it was useful, and it was funny because he's talking about reading books, which is, duh. But yeah, I mean, that was just something I found useful, and I shared it. So that's curating content, but I'm sharing it, and it's value, right? Not everybody might get it. Not everybody might think it's value, but there's going to be someone that reads that and goes, wow, that was cool. Plus One Daily shared that. John shared that. That's cool. Thanks. Does it always work out? No. But that's why we just keep on.
Your talks are so valuable, John. And
my talks are, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
I just wish I felt like I had enough info in me, to do a blog, or I don't know. I get really stuck.
You do, though. And this is the thing. This is a really good example, Laura. Think about this. How long have you been in, like, let's say just traffic exchanges. How long have you been in it?
Well, I stopped for a while, and then I started back up about 7 years ago.
Okay.
A total of probably 10 years.
Well, let's just say that you stopped and you were brand new a year ago. Let's just say, for example, shooting a number out there. You stopped, you come back. Since you've been back in that year, there's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that have joined the traffic exchanges. Just on my numbers alone, just from my company, hundreds of people a day. Just my company. So the 8-9 websites that we own, hundreds, just our stuff. Now think about all the other programs. And so there's thousands of new people that are coming online each and every day learning about traffic exchanges that know less than you do. You got to remember, you've got, like, let's say a year of experience now from the time you started to now. Think of all the people that have joined in that time that you know more. So you got to, this is the thing. I get it. Trust me. Putting yourself out there is the scariest thing in the world because people can point fingers, right? Hey, look, what's this person doing? Oh, she forgot to spell this right. Oh, who is she to tell me how? I get it. But you got to remember that the bulk of people don't know as much as you do, because that's a huge chunk of people that are getting online that don't even know what a surf ratio is. So going back to that survey results that I shared with you, you know that, 34% want to know how to get better results. Well, you can share what has gotten you better results. 20% wanted to list building strategy. So what has worked for you for list building? 34% also wanted to know reviews. So that's something you can do right now. You could do a simple review of a traffic exchange you really enjoy, and you could share that with people. So that's just some ideas, just shooting it out there, that you gotta remember that there's a huge chunk of people that know a ton less than you might think you know. So you got to give yourself a little bit of kick in the butt and say, okay, you know what? That's a year's worth of people that don't even know what a surf ratio is. How can I cater to that market? So just an idea.
Thanks, John.
I find when I help people too, I learn more as I'm helping people go through it. It reinforces it for me.
Right. And
then I feel more comfortable helping the next person.
It's I think John C. Maxwell talked about it. It's kind of like this pattern where you learn it yourself, and then you start doing it with a mentor, and then the mentor watches you do it, and then you do it by yourself, and then you start teaching people. So you have this like learning experience of actually learning the process, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're starting to teach it to other people, right? And you're learning as you're teaching it. So the more you're doing something, the more you're benefiting because you're helping people, but you're also getting more information.
That's where I want to get, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's really hard to help people if you don't have any input. So it has to be a two-way thing.
Right.
You know, you have to be open to what comes in. it might be scary to go out there in public the first time because, yeah, you're going to get people to say, well, you don't know what you're doing. But you're also going to get people to say, you don't know what you're doing, but here's how you can do it. So, you get, you get more input that helps you grow your business too. So it's not, it's not all about just what can I give to somebody else. It's always a two-way street. You always benefit from it at some aspect.
That's a really good point. The big thing for me is that the huge numbers is that you got to remember that a lot of people are new to this and know a lot less than you do. So it is as people jump online, something to tell you is, you can teach people stuff. You can be of value to someone. You might not have this is the thing I've always said for years and years and years. This is the truth. And Laura, take this to heart because this is the dead honest truth. You and I, the only difference between you and me is that I've got more time invested. That's it. That's it. That's the only difference. I've been doing this for 20 years. You've been doing this, you said, about 10 years. That's it. That's the only difference because me and you came online with the exact same knowledge. I didn't know what a traffic exchange was when I started. Neither did you. I've just been doing it longer. That's it.
You put more effort into it also, I think.
What's that? Sorry?
You put a lot more effort into it than I do.
But it came from time. It came from time. Ask Rich. The first few years I was online, I didn't do anything. I just sat there like a dummy. Like, Rich, what does HTML stand for? I don't know what I'm doing. Rich, help me. Like, I was an idiot. I didn't know what I was doing. The bulk of the time, I didn't know what I was doing. But the more confidence I built because I was trying things, the more confident and comfortable I got in blogging, in writing, in emailing. That's the only difference between me and you and someone else is time invested in it. That's it. Because none of us comes online unless we're, got silver spoons up our butt and we got a $10 million budget to work with. We all don't have a ton of money. We, coming in to invest in our business. We all have to exchange time for money to get started. And majority of us don't even know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. So we learn by doing this stuff. We learn by actually rolling up our sleeves and doing this. And I'm sorry, I'm looking over here because my bird is kind of doing something weird, and she's okay, but she was kind of
moving her head around.
Well, no, she was kind of hanging upside down, and I was like, "You're kind of looking like a bat, and you're not a bat. You're a parrot." But I was a little worried about her because I thought she was stuck. But anyway, she's okay now. So, yeah, I hope that helps though, because I don't want anybody even listening to this recording thinking that, John or Renee or Laura or Blaine or Carla or Rich or any of these people have silver spoons at their butt and they got something handed to them. It's sticking to itiveness and being stubborn about it. Like everybody telling you it's not going to work, and then you keep on keeping on. So,
yeah, I feel very encouraged from your words.
Try it, and if you fail, it's a learning experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Just try something. So, for sure.
Sorry,
go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, John used to ask me a lot of questions. Sometimes I didn't know the answers. So I had to go find the answer so that I could come back and tell John. So in the process, I learned more because, he was asking me questions, and I didn't know. I was almost as new as he was. In fact, he knew more about traffic exchanges than I did. Yeah. So if he'd asked me a question, I had to go find it. So, it encouraged me to work harder on my business, to learn more, so that I could answer people's questions in return. So you benefit, like I said before, it's a give and take. There's always two-way benefit there. Yeah, I got to look really smart because I went, well, John, HTML is hypertext markup language, but I learned a lot in the process.
Janelle's here, and she just muted her mic. Janelle, you can't sneak away. We know you're here. Hi, Janelle. Janelle's not going to talk now, but Janelle's here. Janelle's my favorite East Coast person who lives in PEI, Blaine, just in case you want to know.
I figured that out.
Yeah, you figured it out where PEI was?
Yeah,
this little strip of land in the middle of the North Atlantic. So don't have a mic on this crappy computer. Okay, buddy. Sure, Janelle. I'm just joking. Good to see you, Janelle. Good to see the black space where you're at that just says your name, Janelle, but it's good to see you. Glad you're here. Jangle. Glad to hear. Another thing I wanted to touch on. So I talked about the survey results. I talked about the stay in front of people no matter what type thing. Even if you are email marketing, you don't get anybody to take action, just stay in front of them. Really cool idea that I was actually talking to Dawn about this today. It's something that I used when I first got started online, and I think it'll help. I'm going to talk specifically to owners right now, so I apologize if anybody's not an owner, but this is a really big tidbit if you are an owner. Game plan your upgrades and +1 each and every day. What do I mean by that? Something I did before, and Blaine's going to roll his eyes because this includes taking a pen and a piece of paper and writing on paper instead of on your phone, which you can do on your phone. But I actually had a monthly calendar on a piece of paper. And what I did, and you can do this even if you're list building. You can do this on a list building exercise too. Part of the biggest reason most traffic exchanges fail in this industry is that they don't have recurring subscriptions coming in the next month. So they get a whole bunch of sales when they launch, but they don't have a recurring subscription coming in. They don't have the money coming in each and every month, so they give up. What you need to do if you're an owner is that you need to focus on building that subscription base up, getting new subscribers each and every day. But what you want to do is you don't want to get 30 people in one day and then no one else throughout the month. So what I suggest you do is that make up a plan, set up a calendar, and write down the dates. And then every single day, what you're trying to do this month is get a subscriber, a new upgrade, let's say. Or if you're doing list building, a new person to your list. So you have this, and like at the end of the day, end of the month, you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you got new upgrades, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday you didn't, Sunday you didn't as well. So the next month, those dates come up, those are the days you need to focus on. You know that you need to run specials on that day to get upgrades, because what you want to do is you want to get an upgrade each and every day, and then +1 the next month, and then +1 the next month, and +1 the next month. Hopefully at the end of the year, I'm smashing microphones. Hopefully at the end of the year, that means you'll have 12 upgrades on each day of the week, each day of the month. Think of the residual income. Not only will you be happy, you'll be able to pay some bills and really start developing an income. Your affiliates will be happy because you're bringing in new upgrades, you're bringing in people spending money. That's a win. So I call it the game plan, your upgrades +1 edition. You can use it as you see fit. If you're into list building, you can use this technique too. But specifically for owners, +1 each and every day. So you don't have an upgrade on Monday the next month, make sure Monday you're doing a special to try to get an upgrade that month. And you follow the plan, so at the end of the year you have basically 12 upgrades on each and every day. Obviously it's not going to be guaranteed 12 upgrades, but that's the game plan, to +1 each and every day. So at the end of the year you have 12 upgrades on each day. And that will be sustained income, residual income for your traffic exchange that'll help it grow over time. So little tidbit. Hope that helps.
It also helps you overcome the attrition ratio, which puts a lot of people out of business. And, you may have 20 subscriptions coming in this month, but you may lose 3 or 4 next month. And so if you're only relying on what you have right now without trying to build continuously,
right,
attrition ratio will put you out of business. So you just got to stay after it all the time.
Yeah, I use the same model when I'm building a site or after we've opened a site or anything like that. The goal is always to get one person a day to upgrade, and you do that consistently. So do that for 7 days or 14 days, and then move that number to 2. And you want 2 upgrades that day, 2 upgrades the next day, so forth and so on. And then you just keep increasing that number over time. You don't have to go from 1 upgrade a day to 10 upgrades a day.
Exactly.
You just want to continuously keep that consistent. And that way, if you do, like Rich said, you lose one, you get that attrition rate, and it's going to happen. It's guaranteed. It's just something that happens as a part of it. You can easily overcome it because you know that I know that somebody canceled, so I'm not going to get that one next week. But by then, I'm getting 4 a day that I know of. Right. So it's already covered for.
Yeah, exactly, Blaine. You have to figure that into the equation, and that way you don't like lose your mind when somebody unsubscribes either, because you know that you already have a plan that's going to get you over that little hurdle, and keep you going. You know, without a plan, you know what they say, you know, if you don't have a plan, you're planning for failure. Get something on paper or on your phone or something. Just get something. Get a plan.
There's a program that's out there right now, and the guy, he does this whiteboard video presentation on it, and it's really, really good. And he talks about how you're filling buckets, and what you want to do is you want to get these big chunks of money to fill the bucket to hit your goal, and then you fill up the little places with little $20 a month subscriptions and stuff. That might work for him, okay? It might work for a lot of people online that have huge incomes coming in and stuff like this. I would flip it. I would say this, because of the attrition rate, imagine if you had one subscriber that was paying you hundreds of, and you're brand new to this industry, and you get this one person that's paying you hundreds of dollars by only buying one thing from you every month. So that person disappears in 2 months. That's a huge chunk of your income that's gone. That will break a lot of people. A lot of people, and I know this from personal experience. I remember back in the day, we had tons of people that were paying hundreds of dollars a month for this and that, and when they would disappear, that hurt us. That hurt, that huge chunk of income would disappear. So what I would recommend is to get the little pieces first to build a solid foundation. If you have that, like Blaine was talking about and Rich was talking about, that will help the attrition. It'll help you buffer that. It'll allow you to, I got, 20 people paying me $20 a month. Okay, that's what, $400 a month. Cool, yay for me. That gives me a solid foundation to build to fill out the big chunks. Then I could start operating, and if that big customer disappears, it's okay because I still got the foundation. Losing a customer that spends hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month with you can break people. That could get you crushed. That's why a huge chunk of MLM people never stay the course, because MLM bills are not $10 a month. MLM bills can be $50 to $100 to $200 a month, and you bust your butt to get that one customer, and now that one customer disappears. That will break you. That will be like, I give up. I spent all my effort trying to get this one person to upgrade, and then they didn't. Oh man, now I got to start all over. So if you have that solid foundation of a +1 kind of mentality of, just like Blaine said, you do 1 this month, you do 2 the next month, 3 the next month, 4, 5, 6 the next month, that's a lot better to build a foundation. So if 1 or 2 people disappear, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to crush you. So I loved the example of this guy did this whiteboard video training. It was brilliant, but I would flip it and not concentrate on the big sales to start. Get the solid foundation of small sales to get people in there, get some confidence going. Everybody gets going. Everybody starts crushing it. And then you could say, hey, here's $1,000 program. Would you like to buy it? Instead of going, hey, one person, I've been, trying to sell you this, and then they don't buy anymore, and then you're done. If that makes any sense. Makes sense? Or not? I talk too much.
It makes perfect sense, John, because you can. It's some personal experience. When we were doing the seminars, we used to get a lot of people paying us $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, and that was good for about a month or 2. And then all of a sudden, you lost $4,000 worth of income.
Oh man!
On the other hand, Click Crazy, where I had people paying me $10, $15, $20 a month, I had hundreds of those.
Right.
So if 10 people left, it didn't matter. I mean, well, it did, but I wasn't devastated. But when you lose $2,000 a month, that gets your damn attention.
Oh yeah, it does. Absolutely.
And so, it's very important that you have that. It may only be $5. It may be 50. I don't know, whatever. But you need that layer, and it needs to be spread out. It can't be one. Even at that, it can't be 1 or 2. You got to have, it's got to be spread out so that you can absorb it. It's kind of like a law of physics. The greater the mass, the better it absorbs the impact, kind of a thing. And that's what you're looking at. You want to be able to absorb that impact when you do lose 1 or 2. And yeah, there you go.
Yeah, without a doubt, I would rather have. So for making $1,000 a month, I would rather have 100 people paying me $10 a month versus one person paying $1,000 two people paying 500 or something like that. Because if you lose one person or two people at $10 a piece, it's not as bad. But if you lose one person that's paying you $1,000 a month, that's a hit.
That's a 50% of your income gone.
Yeah, instantly.
I mean, that will crush people. That's the big thing, because there's a lot. The big chunk of people online are like this. This sounds really bad, but the big chunk of people online are looking for wins, right? Like, I mean, the mentality is, I've been taken by this company. They promised me the world, and they took all this money from me, and I'm still not a success. So they're coming into this business, not everybody, but a big chunk of them, down and out, down on their luck, just feeling like crap. And then they bust their butt and get a big customer, a big whale of a customer. And they're like, woo, pumped up, fired up, yay, rush, yeah, can't wait, this is going to be great. And then all of a sudden, they lose that income. And they've already gone through all that crap to get to this point. They're going to give up. That is what's going to hurt the attrition rate, because more people are going to give up when they start getting losses. So we've got to get them wins. That's the big thing. If you're a traffic exchange owner, you can really help your members by giving them little wins, giving them small wins, get them feeling good, and enough to where they're willing to and keep investing in their business, instead of just 1 month and I didn't make my millions, I give up, because that's what happens. So
I'm gonna bring up the dreaded word chargebacks. Because you know what? When we had Click Crazy, we had people who would cancel their subscriptions and then do a chargeback on what they paid me.
Oh,
so not only did I lose the monthly income, I lost what I already had.
Right.
Because at that point in time, PayPal, it was just easier just to say, okay, give them the money than it was to fight it. So you have to have, we're right back to this whole thing of, it's got to balance out. It's got to be a balancing act. It can't be all or nothing, because you may make $1,000 one month and it may cost you $2,000 the next because you did. So you got to, there again, we're right back to, I would much rather refund $10 and lose a $10 subscription than the thousands. And yes, I had chargebacks during the seminars. I had one lady charge back $3,500, and yeah,
it hurts.
Yes, that does hurt. So it happens at all levels. You just got to expect it.
And with that, in the base layer and earning $10 a month per person, or $100 or $1,000 per person, especially in this this industry, that person that you're making $10 a month from also wants to make $10 a month from somebody or some way. It's easier for me to help somebody and to teach somebody to make $10 a month and do that 100 times versus trying to teach one person to make $1,000 a month.
That's a good point too, man. That's a really good point. It's a lot.
It's realistic. You can. Hang on 1 second.
Oh no, we'll wait on you, Rich. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay, Rich.
Yeah, because we're in a business, especially within traffic exchanges, we're here to help each other. That's the entire purpose of a traffic exchange. I look at your ad, you look at mine. Right. So everybody's helping each other. So everybody's out for the same purpose. We all want to make extra money online, or money online, create a second income, create our primary income, our new primary income, or something like that. And with that, and the people that I refer to a program or anything like that, they're an affiliate just like I am, just like you are, just like Laura, Carla, Rich, Renee, Janelle, everybody. We're all just affiliates in some manner or another. So it would be so much easier for me to help you make $10 a month versus trying to get you to make $100 a month or $1,000 a month or something like that.
Right.
And people don't realize how easy that actually is.
I
was going to say is it's a whole lot easier to get people to make $10 than it is to find the guy that's going to give you, $1,000.
But see, you can get that person that'll give you $1,000. The more you start getting the people that'll find the 10, because attracts like, and action will attract action. And the more action you're taking, the more people are fired up around you. That's going to find the big whales. That will find the big. It's like my company never made $1 until we started to catering to the dollar, if that makes any sense. Like, we didn't start selling thousands of dollars in sales until we concentrated on the $10 sales. And that is the process. And I get it. I understand the model of wanting to fill the bucket with big, huge commission checks, and I'm all for it. But I do think that if we don't have that solid foundation, we can't buffer the roller coaster ride that is entrepreneurship. So.
And it is definitely a roller coaster ride. There's as many downs as there is ups. You just get through them.
That's a good way of putting it, a roller coaster. Yeah.
Well, Janelle, it depends. It depends. I mean, in this industry, I've sold $10,000 products to people, and sold it, and they've paid it. So it happens. It's out there, but it's rare because of. Well, yes, Janelle has inside information on she does. She knows, but it's possible. It's totally possible. But I think if we don't, concentrate on the small sales first, you can't build up to the big sales. And yeah.
I had to make a hell of a lot of $5 sales in I Love Hits, Click Crazy, all those traffic exchanges before I ever made a $5,000 sale at a seminar. But it took all that time, all that effort, all that work, all those people to come together to build that platform that allowed me to finally reach that point where I could. You don't start at the top. I don't give a damn unless, like John says, you're pooping out $1 million bills. You don't start at the top. You start at the bottom.
True. That's a really good talk. I'm going to share this with you guys, but I'm not sharing it with you guys that are watching the recording. I'm going to shut the recording off now.
Oh.
You're not here for the gift I'm going to give everybody. Well, actually, you're going to see it in the Skype room later. But anyways, I wish you were here. So thank you guys for watching. But now the real discussion happens after the recording has stopped.